Everybody keeps asking, hey, is that poison ivy? Is that poison ivy? And a lot of reasons are people are starting to spend a lot of time outdoors now that spring is here. And everybody keeps seeing plants and wanting to know if it's poison ivy. So this is 100% poison ivy. And I'm going to tell you some key characteristics that you can use to be able to be sure that what you're seeing is poison ivy. There are some lookalikes. Number one, out here in Kansas, hog peanut has leaves of 3. You have box elder and Jack in the Pulpit also have leaves of 3. But technically, these are leaflets. And I'm trying to move this around so I do not have an allergic reaction. Or if you go to the doctor, it's called contact dermatitis. So if you ever have a reaction and they say, what are you seeing the doctor for? It's called contact dermatitis. So leaves of 3, let it be, is a good starting point, but not 100% fact. So if you'll look, these are called leaflets, not leaves, but actually leaflets. And if the center one is the longest, that is a positive ID for poison ivy. Another thing to do is look at the veins here. These veins alternate up the stem, or basically the vein, these alternate veins alternate. Did I say that right? I need some more coffee, which is right there. But if you'll look, these alternate, and if they were across from each other, that would be a negative on the ID. So look at these veins across the stem, or across the leaf. There's a vein, there's a vein, there's a vein, and how they alternate up the leaf. The leaves may or may not be lobed, so here's a few lobes here. That is not a key indicator. And also the stems going up the stalk alternate also. So here's a leaflet stem, here's a stem, here's a stem. They alternate. If they were across from each other, that would be a negative. And if you look real close at the base of the stem where it meets the stalk, it kind of looks like lettuce. At the bottom, at the grocery store, when you pull a lettuce stem off the stalk, the bottom part kind of looks like lettuce. And so there you go. That's another key indicator. So there are 2 types of people in the world: those that are highly allergic to poison ivy, and those that will eventually be allergic to poison ivy through repeat exposures. So just because you've never had poison ivy before doesn't mean you'll get it. My whole life I could walk virtually through this, no issue. And then about 4 years ago I caught my first case of poison ivy, and it's gotten horrible, so I have to be very careful. And repeated exposure, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse as your body produces histamines to fight the aerosols that you've been exposed to. So there you go. Next time you're out in the woods and you want to know if it's poison ivy, just remember, yes, leaflets of 3, alternating stems, or alternating veins, then alternating stems in the celery at the base, pretty much guarantees you got yourself some poison ivy.